red lips.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. Thanks for joining us this week. I got my girls with me, Nike and Esme. How y'all doing?
Good. Good.
Yeah. So you're about to say something about some lipstick?
Yeah, we in red lipstick, and tonight it's like
Oh, we should have wore our red lipstick. You're right, with our special shirts that we'll definitely talk about in a little while. But first, I want to do a shout out to one of our sponsors, Hispanic Causing Panics. They come on every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, but this week coming up, they're going to come on tomorrow. They're going to come on tomorrow at 1 p.m. But usually they're on every Monday, 1 p.m. Hispanic Causing Panic. D Styles, he's one of our sponsors, so shout out to them. Be sure you tune in. They have a great show. They always have great discussions, so be sure you check that out. And another one of our sponsors, Arte de Tere, she makes our flyers and our videos. Check her out. She's on Instagram. Get you some artwork. She does the damn thing. That's for sure.
and
She
so
does.
is fast with it.
She is fast. Sometimes I'm like, can you do this real quick? She's like, yes. I'm like, always last minute. Remy, what's up, Remy? What's up? So
Hey.
we're gonna have Mighty Max coming on in a little while. We're just gonna be talking about some boxing news, Rachel Donaire. But before we get into all that, what's going on with y'all? What have y'all seen that y'all want to talk about this week?
Well, obviously the Plant and Benavides, but I'm really curious if Oscar De La Hoya really wants to sign Berlanga. Is he signing? Is he just want him to fail? Is he setting them up?
I saw that. Yeah.
If he does fight Munguia, I mean, it'd be interesting to watch.
I know you want that fight. You've been talking about that fight for a while.
Yes, yes.
I want Jaime to beat Munguia, and I want Jaime to fight Benavides. And I had this conversation with him, and I said, "Look, you need to get that way, and you need to fight Benavides, and just make it happen."
So you want him to beat Berlanga and then fight David Benavides, so we have Caleb Plant and David Benavides coming up. So who's gonna win out of that? We might as well put it out there so that we can get Jaime in the loop, in the circle.
I think Plant will win against Benavides.
Okay. What about you, Nika?
I don't know.
That's how I feel.
I really don't know
now.
because Plant's been looking good, after the Canelo fight. I mean, he was fighting Canelo, so I mean,
right.
That one it's not
right.
So I don't know. And it's such bad blood brewing, and it was the same way with his last fight, and he knocked him out and started digging in the dirt,
Yeah.
So,
but see,
it's 50-50 for me. It's 50-50 for me. I don't know.
Same right now for me. Right now it's 50-50 right now.
I'm 70-30 only because when I was at Benavides' camp, I feel like they really focus on his power and they don't do anything else. It's like there's where the technique is, where like
for Benavides.
For Benavides, yeah.
No movement.
Exactly. There's no waist movement. There's no bobbing and weaving. There's nothing. So I feel like if Caleb Plant just has a really good like training camp and really knows what to do as far as like stay on the outside, move a lot, he can get him. Maybe I need to call Plant and his wife and be like, hey, I can be with your training camp if you want me to help.
Right. Absolutely. Why not? Shoot, look out there. I want to say hi to my sister-in-law, Whitney Martinez. She's finally watching the show. I'm so proud of you. Oh no, hold on. That's my nephew. My aunt. Hi, no, that's my nephew. Okay, so he must be on her account.
Okay.
Hey, baby Jay. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, I'm your aunt. Love you.
See, somebody, Michael Simmons, he agrees. He's going
That's my son. Hey, son.
Oh, okay.
It's a family affair today. So he agrees Plant's going to win too. But
I'm still 50-50. I'm still 50-50. I don't know. That's why I can't bet, because I'm not good at picking.
I'm not either. And the thing is that, yes, Plant has really good movement. And I'm sure he has some power too. I know Benavides, I believe, has more power. And but is he gonna get clipped? Is Caleb gonna get clipped coming in or going out? You know what I mean?
The only
Love
way
you,
is
baby.
if Plant doesn't block his body. Benavidez has that body shot that is killer. So
Yeah.
if he just makes sure to block that, then I think he's got it. But also, if it goes to decision, I feel like Benavidez is not. Is he the, what do you call it? Is he the one like winning, or what is it? The likes or the
Oh, is he like? Is he the
favorite?
the favorite? Yeah.
Oh, well.
is he?
No, I think I see a lot of people saying Benavidez is on social media, on
Yeah.
Twitter,
Yeah.
but now in this chat, I think everybody's going for Plant.
Yeah, because but honestly, I think Plant has been underestimated for a long time. Like I really do. Like I think he's been underestimated. I think people didn't realize his boxing skills, his footwork, his being able to fight long, and all that stuff. So I think now he's finally getting some recognition that he deserved a long time ago, in my opinion.
Yeah, for Plant fighting Canelo, we got to give him a pass with that because it's Canelo, so
Right.
we can't really.
Right.
And
Right.
he held it. He held on as long
He
as
didn't
he
get
could,
knocked
but-
out.
He took the chance though.
Yeah, he took
He
the
did.
chance. So I
And
think
that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want to see these guys taking chances.
we
Okay,
got Mighty
so-
Max here.
All
All right.
right.
Let me add
I was
him.
trying to join for a while, and for some reason,
Mighty Max in the house.
We all
guys.
sporting your
Look,
t-shirts.
We're all
Shirts look great.
hardcore boxing fans.
Thank
Mighty
you.
Max shirt.
thank you so much. There, I hope the material feels good. I
It
appreciate
feels
you guys
great.
wearing
I
them.
like the stretch. They're so
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
I don't know if you have any more in stock, but you need to put it back out. I really encourage everybody to order these shirts. Like they're super cool and they feel so good. They're soft, stretchy. Man,
Thank you.
Look.
Yeah, we
I
still
like
have some
it.
more in stock. A lot of them sold, but there are still some left if anyone's interested in buying.
Look at Max
Thank you.
being an entrepreneur at his young age.
I know,
love
I get it. I get it from my parents. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
That's
That's
good. You have
good.
some good parents.
Yeah, you gotta
So we were just
capitalize
talking
on it.
about Caleb Plant, Dave Benavidez, and what we thought about that fight. And Michael Simmons said Vegas bookmakers made David Benavidez a strong favorite against Caleb Plant. And let me see, and they meet in their bout on Saturday, 25th, March 2023 at MGM. Let's go, Michael. I'm sure. So he's currently what 2'5", 200. See, I don't know about betting stuff.
He looks like he copied and pasted this from something. So he
Michael, did you copy and paste this?
He
But
had
does
to.
bet.
Oh,
did-
okay,
he's-
we're
he's
just- all right,
good.
so
Every
then I'll
time we
take
go
it
to
back.
Vegas.
I'm sorry, Michael. I am so sorry, Michael.
you know what? To put my money on Plant.
Okay.
I put my money on Plant.
So then, Michael needs to be the resident the betting
For sure.
analyst.
You hear that, Michael? You hear that? Yes.
When there's a big fight, he needs to come on and say what his betting odds are for what's the favorites and what we should put our money on.
So Mighty Max. Oh, Crystal wants to know where she can get the shirts, and then I want to know your thoughts on Caleb Plant, Dave Benavidez.
So to get the shirts, you just go to my Twitter at Mighty Max Boxing, my pinned tweet. You go to the comments. The first one has it. It has the link to it. It's on Shopify. If you want, you can message me privately at Mighty Max Boxing on Twitter. For some reason, if there are some technical issues, and I can link you the shirt as well. But yeah, it's on Shopify. If you just go to my Twitter account, Mighty Max Boxing, my pinned tweet right under it, it has the exact link for it. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. So Ariane, that's my daughter-in-law, but she must have my granddaughter, who's only a few months, typing for her heat on Google. So Michael said I did basically bet 250 on Benavidez to win 100, or 100 on Plant to win 230. See, I don't know how that goes. But Mighty Max, what are your thoughts about this fight, this matchup? I'm excited about it. But
Yeah, me too. My thoughts basically. So the reason I actually have more interest in this fight than the average person, because I don't know if you guys remember, but about March or quite a while ago, almost a year, but not quite a year, I made a tweet asking who'd win the fight. Plant responded, then Benavidez responded, and they were
yes,
talking
I
about it.
remember.
Yeah, I remember that was a good time, and I don't know if I'm glitching or not because my screen is frozen right now. That's how
You're
bad-
frozen, but we can still hear
We
you.
can still hear you.
That's actually
Yeah.
pretty funny.
You're just
But
gonna keep that permanent.
yeah, that's how
smile
bad
on.
I'm telling you, my Wi-Fi, not my Wi-Fi, my connection's horrendous today. But
Mm.
the fight itself is very good. I think Plant is definitely being underestimated. I am picking Benavidez to win the fight, but Plant has a much better shot than people realize. And the only reason I'm really picking Benavidez is because I don't trust Plant's gas tank. I feel if Caleb Plant could go 12 rounds strongly, I'd probably favor him to edge out Benavidez. But
But
I
does
see him
Benavidez
fading.
have
I
a
see.
good gas tank?
I don't think so because when you look at the Uzcategui fight, he tired out. When you look at the Canelo fight, he tired out. Even
No, I
even
mean,
to a
like,
lower.
does Benavidez have a
Oh
good
yeah,
gas
yeah,
tank?
yeah. I think Benavidez does. I mean,
He does, and he also doesn't move as much as Plant, so I think he knows how to conserve it and how to use
Yeah.
it correctly, in my opinion.
he hasn't been pushed super hard as of late
No.
in recent bouts, so we haven't really seen his gas tank tested.
That's why I'm saying, like, he don't really move that
Yeah.
much like that to know if his gas tank is really there.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
you know.
And like
However, I'm
Max
not
said,
sure
he
that
hasn't had
Plant's the
anyone
guy.
testing him.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure Plant's the guy that'll test it. I think maybe Canelo would be a better guy to test Benavidez's gas tank because he'll come to Benavidez while Plant's on the back foot, and that's when Benavidez is the most comfortable.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I think that's absolutely right. But I'm excited about it. Like, I do give Caleb a good chance, but I'm hoping that he goes back and says, he needs to do something for strength and conditioning. I don't know if he has a strength and conditioning coach, or how their camp is set up, but he definitely has to conserve his gas for David Benavidez because he's going to have to move because David Benavidez is the Mexican monster, and he's
What?
coming. I know he's coming.
Oh, I thought you were saying that. Wait, Christine, were you quoting someone or was that your thought?
Oh no, I was quoting
Because I was-
Remy. Who said it? Remy said, somebody said he's a Mexican monster.
The
There you go.
Iceman.
I'm
Iceman.
sorry. Benavidez is a Mexican monster. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if Esme agrees with that.
Iceman's been on my channel for a while, and he's always been a big Benavidez guy, so I'm not surprised he's here. Shout out to Iceman.
yeah, shout out Iceman. So Esme, what do you have to say?
Well, being born in Mexico, I feel like the Mexican fans are just more. You become a Mexican monster when you actually when you're from Mexico and born in Mexico. But I know that Benavidez is like half Ecuadorian, so it's the same way.
Okay.
Esme said, "Don't call
said,
that man
no,
a
no,
Mexican monster." No.
Oh, Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is Mexican American. He's not Mexican. Like, if you want a Mexican monster, you have Morales, you have Chavez. Like, you have people who were really from Mexico.
There you go.
That
Mauricio Lara.
She cleared that up for
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it. You can't put anything past Esme.
Esme said, "Did you make that
She's gonna call you out.
Did you make that up, or did you read that?" We shouldn't like that Mexican monster.
Right. Hey, yeah, I was quote. You're like, did you quote that or did you say that? Did somebody say that or did you? Yes, yes. Okay. Remy said the Chicano monster. Okay, there you go. But no, I'm super excited. March 25th. I don't know if I'm not in camp, man. I'm gonna have to try to make it out there because
Is this gonna be in
fire
Vegas?
show. Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna be on Showtime pay-per-view. I'm super excited. And I just want to say too, congratulations to Liam Smith. You know, on his win. Sure. What were y'all's thoughts on that fight?
I'm not surprised, to be honest. I wasn't really sold on Eubanks, but you know what I didn't like is Conor Ben stepping in, like talking shit. My guy, you popped dirty. You cannot talk shit. Like you were taking pads to try to fight this guy.
That's
so
true.
now you look
That's true.
stupid because now you're like, oh, talking shit. Like, oh, you could be. Well, you were taking pads to try to fight this guy. So you were confident in yourself to beat him naturally. That you took substances. So you need to just shut up and scroll like everybody else. Okay.
Right. Congratulate.
Yeah, and just keep it moving. Shut your mouth. Like,
yeah, congratulate and move
you
along.
really talking shit and you pop dirty for your fight to fight him? Come on. Now I know he feels stupid. He's like, damn, I ain't even have to take that stuff.
And you know it's crazy.
Exactly.
Conor Ben has been begging people to assume his innocence for like 3 months now. Every single post. Here's more proof I'm innocent. I'm innocent. I mean,
well, what was the proof that he was showing? Well, did he
Yeah.
come up with a negative? I didn't see no proof that
I didn't see
he
proof.
could dispute anything. My guy, you pop dirty, and You cannot talk shit about this fight. You just need to be a spectator like the rest of us and just keep it moving. Like I was so disgusted with that. I was so disgusted. Like he just came in like nothing happened. Like he didn't pop dirty and people forgot about it.
That's
And Conor Benn's not beating Liam Smith either, for being honest. Liam Smith
no, absolutely not. I agree too. I don't know. Ask me, what did you think about that fight?
So I was reading Orion James's comment, and
oh yeah, that's my daughter-in-law. Per Fight Hype, Crawford has the fight 50-50. He said Benavidez is bigger and stronger, but Plant has skills, know he's in shape, prepared, and smart. That's me too. I'm 50-50.
Yeah. I think it's like 55-45, 60-40 Benavidez, but a lot of people have it like 80-20, 85. A lot of people are not giving Plant the shot, and I don't know how, man. Plant is a good fighter.
He is. He can box.
You guys want to hear it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So when Benavidez had their camp here in San Diego, I had 4 really, really amazing sparring partners, and they were quality guys. So I know 2 of them made Rayo and Benavidez's nosebleeds, gave them nosebleeds throughout the sparring sessions, and then they were never called back to, keep
give them that good work.
They gave him too much work.
They gave him that good work. They didn't want to.
We don't want that much work.
So then they chose people that I know, fighters that I already know, and I know the ways of training. And I was like, really? And to me, it was just one of those things where, like, if you want to be the best, you spar the best. You don't spar.
For sure.
And to me, that was where I was like, And
okay.
It was just disappointing.
They didn't give them that Hector Garcia work in sparring?
They just want to throw and not be hit, and that's it.
Yeah.
They just want to knock you out, but don't touch me. No, you're right. If you want to be the best, you do have to spar the best. You really do. I mean, you're only as good as your sparring partner. So that's kind of disappointing. But I'm right. Like, I think closer to fight time, I'll be, I'll make a choice. But right now, I'm 50-50. I just kind of want to see what they look like, what they're doing. I want to hear about who they're sparring, how they're preparing for each other. In
2019, I was picking Plant. There was a point in time where I was picking Plant to beat Benavidez. But as time's gone on, been seeing so many chinks in Plant's armor. And Benavidez is looking bigger and stronger as years go on. But I want to answer about the Eubank and Liam Smith fight.
Yes,
I was actually very surprised. I was actually picking Eubank. And if Smith won, I was expecting him to either get a late stoppage in a war or maybe a very close decision, which was pretty unlikely. But him taking Eubank out in 4 rounds, I mean, I've been paying attention to Eubank. This is a guy with a good chin. His dad isn't lying. Eubank has a very good chin. George Groves never had him in any trouble. And George Groves, in his prime, when he was fighting Eubank and even before that, he was a big puncher and he was a big guy, bigger than Smith. And Smith came up in weight, stopped Eubank, looked very impressive. And good for him. I'm interested to see what he can do next. I would like to see him take on someone respectable at 160. I'm not sure who, but maybe a Murata or someone in that range. There's a lot of good fights for Liam Smith.
I think a Murata would be a good matchup.
Yeah, that'd be.
I really do. Yeah, I was really impressed. I just saw highlights because I was working, but I saw highlights and I was very impressed.
Yeah.
With his performance. But so Nico, there was somebody, who was it that who was it that got the 8 count or whatever, and the ref didn't stop it? Was it?
I think it was. Oh wait, you had me look up the clip. Hold on. It was that fight, wasn't it? Hold on. What's
I think that was it, because like I said, I just saw the highlights. I think that's what it was, where the ref should have stopped it. He didn't stop it.
Oh yeah. That, I'm pretty sure it was you. A lot of people thought after the first knockdown they should have stopped it, and they didn't.
Yeah, because I saw clips of that, and I was like, he was not steady on his legs. He could have been seriously injured. That was disappointing, especially in this day and age when we have boxers dying. Mm-hmm. It was bad. So it looks like I don't know if we have a date. Y'all correct me. I don't think we do, but I think it's being talked about. What about Tank and Ryan? Do we have a date yet for that?
They said April 15th, but nothing's been fully set. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Tank's going to rematch Isaac Cruz, but anything's possible. Boxing's a definition of a sport where if it's too good to be true, then it is. And that's how it's been for us fans. If they fight, it's definitely not going to be in April. That's how I look at it too. It's
that's
soon.
Kind of
too soon of a date.
And what's going on with all this his legal stuff? Like, we haven't heard anything else about it.
That's why I don't know if we're gonna have that fight for sure until after his case. That's, I believe, this next coming month. So we will find out
Yeah, that's what I was wondering
because
about.
it depends on whatever happens with this case. So
I'm more interested in Haney and Loma possibly fighting. That's the fight I really want to see. That fight would be awesome.
Okay. Let me block this fool. Okay. And then so I had just read Bivol is considering dropping to 168, or he said he could drop to 168.
Mhm.
Is that, I mean, I know he wants to be undisputed, I mean unified, but is it for the money grab for Canelo in y'all's eyes? What do y'all think that's about?
Yeah, I think for sure he's only going down to 168 for the money because he knows Canelo won't rematch him at 175. And it's a shame because I don't want to see Bivol have any chance of losing to Canelo. I want him to beat him again, even worse, if anything. But him going down to 168 and draining himself, because I do believe he will be drained at 168, at least somewhat. It's giving Canelo a big advantage, and the fight is much closer this time around. And if I was Bivol, I would not take the fight at 168.
Yeah, I think his frame, like to go to 168, I agree. He would be actually one of my guys fought him a few years ago, and his frame is solid, muscular frame. And I think at the time he was weighing 180 something. I don't remember exactly what they weighed in at, but I don't see how he's going to be able to do that. I mean, if he has some good nutritionists, like yes, but I was like, why would he want to do that? I know that it's a money grab to fight Canelo again, and maybe he just wants to beat the shit out of him, like really, really bad. I don't know. I don't know what his thinking is.
Yeah, it's definitely a money grab. It would be a very dumb decision to do that. And of course, as fans, we should really be pushing for him to fight Beterbiev after he stops Yard.
And I thought that's who he was fighting next. I
Yeah.
thought there was talks about that. Is that being talked about? Or
No,
do we have
Eddie Hearn's going to make sure he fights Buatsi next. He's been pushing for that fight for so long. He's going to fight Buatsi. He's going to fight Buatsi, and Beterbiev is going to get mandated from the WBC to fight Callum Smith. That's what's going to happen next.
so I found the video.
Okay, yeah.
So, wait. I could.
Yeah, that's Eubank.
Yeah.
Too much of an opportunity to do his own work. Let's go with the left.
Beautiful combination.
Fair use.
Look at him. Look at him.
He should have stopped it right there. Yeah,
My favorite part is once he got dropped again, he kept coming forward after the ref stopped it. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah. He's like a newborn calf. He's not steady on his legs.
But look at this. Look at this when he gets up again and the ref stops.
Oh my God. It's like, ref, get off me. I want some more.
Right. And I get it.
funny.
I mean, yes, that's the
You gotta
fighter in
respect
there.
it.
Too much.
That's
You
the
gotta
fighter in
respect
there.
opportunity.
But
Yeah,
no.
I get it, but no.
No.
We got to protect these guys from themselves. You
If
know?
that was Triple G or Charlo and Eubank got up and say Triple G or Charlo landed that one punch shot, they could have put him to sleep. Like, really
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And speaking of Charlo, so he's had the future Charlo. He's having some I guess personal issues, and that's why he hasn't been in the limelight and stuff. Have y'all heard anything about that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
is it like the arrest that he had?
I don't know. I guess so.
Oh.
I mean,
No,
that's what I'm
I don't know
thinking.
anything that up to date, so I don't want to start rumors.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't hear anything
I
in
don't know.
particular.
Thank you, Long Live Boxing. Everybody hit the like button, please. And thanks to everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Always. I was reading, okay, so Adrian Broner's new opponent, this kid. Do you know his name, Max?
I think it was like Michael Williams.
Michael
or-
Williams,
Yes.
Yeah,
Michael Williams Jr.
Williams.
Oh my gosh. I remember this kid. I remember seeing him. I think he fought oh my gosh. He
I
was
know
on-
he got it. I remember
he
him
was
getting
on
his ass
TV.
beat on Top Rank.
Yes, and he was like spinning around the ring and like
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This
he
is gonna
had
be a shit
no
show.
form.
Yeah. I don't know how long ago that was, but I do remember seeing that, and I
He-
don't know how much his skills will have improved since
Adrian
then.
Broner, man.
But
No,
this is-
I wish I could remember the guy's name that he fought. I think it was a shit, I can't remember.
It was a shit show then.
It was so sad. It was
Yeah.
it was embarrassing, and he was on TV.
Well,
You
they
know?
obviously personally know each other. They must be good friends, and he's probably just giving his friend a bone to make some money, because I really don't know how his name got put in the hat. You
Well,
know.
and his dad is his trainer, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, what are you doing to your son? I don't get it. Like that poor kid. I feel sorry for him.
But knowing Broner, the way Broner's been fighting lately, he might not even capitalize on it. Like Broner might end up having a split decision or a majority decision because
He don't.
this
He
guy's been
don't.
so inactive. He looked horrible against Giovanni Santiago, and we saw Gary Antoine Russell did to Giovanni.
He don't pull the trigger.
Right,
He
he
does not
doesn't.
pull the
Yeah.
trigger.
He
He
doesn't.
babysits the trigger. He's just like
Yeah.
sitting there, and I don't know what he'd be looking for, but it's
I think Maidana changed him because before that he wasn't the most active puncher, but he let his hands go. And after getting dropped on Maidana,
he definitely changed him.
Shell-shocked.
He made him trigger shy. He made him
He
trigger
did.
shy after
He's
he
shell-shocked.
fought
I think he has
Maidana.
nightmares.
Yeah, he's definitely trigger
And
shy.
I had seen I had seen some workout videos and stuff, and I mean, he is not in shape at all. Like,
Well, he posted something today. And
I saw a picture where he looked
He
better.
looked a little bit
Okay.
more in shape today. So
okay, good, because I was.
I
just
don't
like,
know if it's a
dude.
recent picture though, because
I heard Regis Prograis on my boy Punch Dunk's channel yesterday, and he basically said, like, he basically implied that him versus Broner would be the biggest money fight he could make. And I'm saying to myself, do not even entertain a fight with Adrian Broner. Come on. You have Teofimo Lopez. You have a Josh Taylor rematch.
he's thinking money right now. Yeah, he's thinking money right now.
I don't
because
even know.
It
Like,
looks like Black Prime is like BLK Prime
That's-
is
I'm-
giving out
I'm
money left
thinking-
and right. So they're like, you know what? Let me
Yeah.
get this money real quick.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, he knows that BLK Prime is putting out the dollars right now. I don't know how long they can do that
Yes, but
because where's this money
while
coming
they're
from?
doing it, I would get in line too. I ain't
But
gonna
I
lie.
bet that's what he's doing. Hey, I don't blame him.
Yeah,
Do I want to see it? No.
because
the beef would be
didn't
fun.
he fight? Didn't Broner sign like a 3-fight deal or something with them?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that could be, he's probably working himself into one of those
Possibly.
3 fights.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Regis
I
knows
think
that.
that would sell. I think that would sell way more than what they're trying to
Oh, for sure.
give
No,
us now.
It would. It would.
The
I mean,
build-up
but-
would be fun because Prograis could talk, and we all know Broner could talk.
Broner's
And
gonna talk, yeah.
that would be fun.
And it's my thing is like, who could they really have picked in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks to this fight? I mean, for Broner,
What
That
happened
we-
with Red
that-
Catch again? What happened? I know Red Catch.
his
Oh,
manager.
guy's
I think it
such
was
a-
his manager. Or
Yeah.
Such a
something.
nut, man.
Something about, I think too, it was like something about him being in a contract with somebody else, or
Oh, my
there was a lot of like legal stuff.
Yeah, Red
Yeah, I think
Catch
Red
is
Catch
an
was-
odd guy.
His
Yeah.
manager was trying to like ask for more money than what everything was already settled, and then his manager, I don't know if they were splitting, and then he went to BLK Prime. From what I read on Red Catch's
Yeah, I think
Twitter,
he still
he
had
asked
a
for more
contract
money.
somewhere.
Yeah, he was asking for more money, and then BLK
Yeah.
Prime was like, you know what? We're not gonna give you 50-50. Like, okay, just now
Yeah.
you get nothing. Now you get nothing. So
Crystal said that the tickets aren't even on sale. Like, for
I mean, say it because I don't think this is gonna sell. Like, this is such a fight that's like meh.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, I felt like the Lundy fight would have been much more interesting fight.
Oh, yeah.
I think the
Man.
shit talking was gonna be good.
Lundy in
it
his
was gonna be a
prime
good
was
fight.
a pretty underrated fighter.
Lundy, yes, in his
Against
prime, he
Crawford,
was
those first
a
2 rounds,
beast.
man. Those first 2 rounds, he looked sensational, and then Crawford figured him out.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then he fought my guy Alex Martin.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's tough. He's
Oh, yeah.
tough. But I really felt like that Adrian was going to beat him, just because he is older and he is kind of, well, he's
But I
Yeah,
feel like
he would edge him out. It'd be tough, though. It wouldn't be a walk in the park.
it would be tough. And
I don't
it
know.
would have been good for Adrian.
Yeah.
I don't know, because he just does not let go anymore. Like I said, after Maidana, he does not let the
You're
trigger
right about
go.
that.
So I think that Lundy would have, if he was smart, he was gonna go in there and capitalize on this fight, get his
Yeah.
name back in the mix again,
Well, that was
So-
going to be his only shot, really, to
Yeah.
like be able to come back and do something, We also have Erica Cruz and Amanda Serrano coming up. I think that's going to be a good fight because Erica Cruz, she's got that typical Mexican come forward, want to be tough, but I don't think her punching power is going to be able to compare to Amanda Serrano. What are y'all's thoughts on that fight?
Well, Cruz is durable, but I think Serrano has way too many tools, and I see it being a somewhat competitive fight, but Serrano's going to take over as the fight plays on. She's going to start to figure out more and more, and I see her winning a relatively comfortable decision.
Yeah, I do too. What about you, ladies?
I agree. I really just hate for all these rematch just to be sitting and soaking, marinating. I want these rematches to happen like right away because I
Right.
feel like a loss could just like take some momentum out of the fight.
Yeah.
So I really want to see her and Katie Taylor.
I
and
know, right?
Baumgartner
The
and Mayer.
rematch.
Like, I feel like a loss is gonna mess up some of these rematches that we're all like waiting
Yeah.
for.
That's true. That's true. What do you think, Esme?
I think I do think Serrano might stun her more because she's got a little bit more power. But I also think Cruz is just going to be going head first. Like she's going to be just
She
like
is.
"Come at me." And sometimes if you don't know how to fight that type of fighter with that style,
Overwhelms you.
yeah, it overwhelms you. But I think Serrano will. I think she might take it.
Okay. So we have okay. So we'll just say like you think Erica Cruz is gonna pull it out, right?
I don't think she's going to disappoint. Yeah, I think she'll make it through.
So who
The
do you
judge-
have getting their hand raised?
Wait, what?
Who do you have getting their hand raised at the end of the fight?
If it goes to decision.
Yeah.
It's tricky because like if they're prepping a rematch with
A rematch, exactly.
pick a
Yeah,
draw
it
if
is
you want.
tricky.
They're
It
gonna
is tricky.
politics and business, they're gonna give it to Serrano no matter what. If
Yeah.
they're not prepping for that, unless Cruz really does more damage or technically scores more points, then she's gonna take it. But so it all really depends.
So really, Cruz needs to knock her out.
How many rounds do you think Cruz has to win to actually get a decision? 7, 8?
I would say probably 8, because
8?
honestly,
Like 8 clear
the
rounds?
big money fight is Taylor and Serrano.
Yeah, because if it's 7 rounds, they might just have it a draw. Like if it's clear cut
Exactly.
7, they'll just be like, all right, we'll just make it a draw. No one's gonna really.
And
If
then
it's
does that
7-3,
take?
you know.
And does that take the
Yes.
luster out of the rematch with Taylor?
Oh, it would even if they give it to Serrano, it would. Because if she
Yeah.
loses 7 rounds in most people's minds, people are gonna even if she gets her hand raised or not. But if they have it a draw, at least they could say, "Oh, at least she got a blemish on her record after losing 7 rounds."
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very tricky, this politics in our beautiful sport, but it is what it is.
But one thing I say about boxing when it comes to the politics in the sport is, yes, boxing is corrupt, but honestly, every sport is corrupt. Boxing is just one of the few sports where we can actually catch how corrupt it is.
That's true. If you pay attention, if you really pay attention, yeah, you can see it.
Because that also gives you the opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So Max, what are some of the fights that you're looking forward to besides the ones that we've mentioned?
Well, are we talking about fights that have been set or fights that are likely going to get set?
Well, I don't know. What are the
Yeah,
first
but-
2-3 fights that came to your mind?
You gotta specify, right? Because
I would say if Fury mans up, Fury and Usyk, but I don't think Fury's gonna. I think Fury's gonna fight Wilder for a 4th time, likely once Wilder beats Ruiz.
Really?
Obviously
4th
Crawford
time?
Spence, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime. That might happen actually. That one has a good chance of happening later in the year, but I'm not
I think
confident.
so. I think so too.
But at the same time, Crawford's going to be 36 years old, and a lot of people are pretending he's not already 35. They're pretending Crawford's the same age as Errol, and it's obvious Errol's been postponing because Crawford's older. Maybe better BF and Bivol if that fight happens. But the fight that might actually happen that I really want to see is Devin and Loma. That fight would be so interesting. I actually think Devin to beat him now. I used to favor Loma, but as time's gone on, I'm edging out Devin. But I really want to see the fight.
Same.
That fight would be awesome.
Same. I used to also favor Loma, but I lately Devin's been looking really, really good. He's young, he's strong, he's hungry. Loma is pretty much the same.
I think he looked a little off against Ortiz though.
A little flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He's just the same, and yes, falling short a little bit. So the Fury. So you're not a fan of Fury, is that right?
I used to be a relative fan of Fury, and I don't necessarily dislike Fury. I just dislike his antics. I mean, I was a fan of him for a while, but once the Usyk rumors happened and Fury really did anything he could to really negate that fight, and the 3rd Chisora fight and all this other stuff, I started to really get turned off of Fury. I mean, I don't have any hate towards Fury. It's not like, oh, I need to see Fury lose, but one thing I'll do is I'll call out Fury a lot when he does certain stuff, and a lot of his fans won't call him out for this type of antics. I mean, why not make the Usyk fight now? If you wait any longer, there's going to be 20 mandatories. mean, Usyk already has to worry about the WBA with Dubois and
Yeah.
Joe Joyce at the WBO that they're not mentioning. WBC when Wilder beats Ruiz, that's going to be mandated. I mean, and of course Hergovich as well. So make the fight when you still can.
Crystal
Right.
has a question for you.
Who, Crystal? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Crystal.
she got a question for you, Max. I'm gonna put it up here. Max, you're not a flip flopper, true? Who you have in Spence Crawford as of today?
I have Crawford, but if the fight happens in 2024, I might switch my pick. By the time Crawford's
Okay.
like 36, 37. But I still have Crawford. I've had Crawford. I've thought about this fight for a while since Spence was a prospect and Crawford is at 140. Because I just said to myself, Errol's going to be the best guy at 147 soon. And Crawford's inevitably going to move up to 147 once he goes undisputed at 140. And keep in mind, I was like 10 years old back then, but I was just analyzing. I had a lot of spare time. So I've been looking forward for this fight for a while, and I always edged Crawford, but I'd always pick him by like split decision, majority decision. And I would still pick him in a competitive decision. However, if we keep waiting for this fight to happen, I might switch over to Errol very soon. And that's a shame, but Crawford is nearly 37 years old.
This is I don't know anything. I'm just thinking in my head. Lifestyles, we know lifestyle does.
I know you was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that benefits Crawford 100%. 100%.
Absolutely. And and I love Errol, okay? But he's moving up to fight one time.
That's true.
And he's heavier. And why? And for
I don't
the
get that
belts
at
aren't
all.
even on the line.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Keith once upon a time Thurman, Keith one time a good fighter Thurman, and I actually like Thurman, but him fighting Errol Spence, I mean, I knew it would happen, but people don't realize how easy of a fight this is for Errol. Think about it. Keith Thurman was badly hurt and struggled against
Rachel has
Mario
a nice
Barrios. The
setup.
same Barrios that got decimated by Tank Davis moving up from 126 after fighting Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, what is Errol going to do to this guy? First of all, Keith also gets hurt badly to the body. I see Errol 100%
Yes.
stopping Keith. It's not
Right.
how, but when. He's definitely
Absolutely, I agree. We
I wanna
have
mention-
Rachel
Yeah.
Donaire. We're gonna put her on. She's gonna join our panel. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Can you hear us?
No, we can't hear you, Rachel.
We can't hear you.
She has a nice. I love this setup. she
Nice
has right there,
setup.
right?
I love it.
That's a nice setup.
That is
Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
right?
I just that's confusing that he's moving up. To fight Thurman, and I mean, at least when Crawford last fight, they were talking about criticizing him or whatever, but at least he had his belts on the line.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
It's something.
And no, but I don't even know why people are comparing that because Crawford
Yeah, he-
didn't fight the whole
Oh, a
entire year. He
little.
was allowed to have a fight. So I hate when people using that as an excuse. So
Yeah, exactly. So Michael said,
Tim's
oh
doing it.
yeah, that's gonna
I got
be a
Tony.
good-
I got Tony winning that fight.
yeah, that's gonna be that's a good matchup.
Very good match. I love
It
Tony.
is. Yeah, and I think Tony is still underrated.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I would
is.
like to see a third Charlo fight more than a Charlo Zoo fight, honestly.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh, yeah, we can
There
hear
we
you.
go.
We got action.
Hello, Rachel. How are you this evening?
I had to call my technical advisor.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Hello. I know. Bringing the kids, and I call my kids, my grandkids, come help me because I can't figure it out. They know everything.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was like, what the? I don't understand all these ports.
So we
Yeah.
love your setup. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
So we have Mighty Max joining us too on the panel.
Hey,
We're
what's
wearing his
up?
shirts.
Hi.
Oh, I don't have one. I didn't
Yeah,
get the
we're gonna have to get you one. We're gonna
For
have to get
sure,
you one.
for sure.
Sure.
So, for people that live under a rock and don't know who you are, I mean, first and foremost, you are the first WBC world champ trainer. And I think that is just fabulous for people that don't know. And of course, your husband, Nonito Donaire, but for you, WBC first world champ trainer. That's huge.
Thank you. Yeah, it was I mean, like the thing is that when we even got into that, right? So a little backstory is, I was in Taekwondo since I was 8. And when I met him, I was still competing. So, we had differences in opinion as far as training, things that I was seeing. Even though I was in Taekwondo, my one of my instructors was Eddie Croft, who I feel like he fought Morales like back in the day. Like we're talking about the 90s.
Okay.
So, I grew up with hands. And then fast forward, met Nonito, and the really in a lot of his fights he would turn to look at me in the audience and kind of look for direction from me. And when the pandemic hit, that was something that really forced us to have to communicate and work together because I
Yes.
mean, people were like, no, we're not going to let anybody in the gym. We don't know who they've been around. We
Yeah.
can't get COVID. So it just kind of fell into place. Yeah. So and I honestly didn't know about like the whole first woman ever to have the
Right.
WWE trainer belt. Like I literally had to look it up when people were telling me. I was like, oh wow. Okay.
You're like, oh,
And
that's
that's a
well,
good
you just
husband who
you just
listens
did
to
things
his
out
wife,
of
though.
necessity. You did things out of necessity, and that's usually how things go, Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, wow, that's huge. That's
No,
really huge.
but also is a good husband when he listens to his wife because not most men do not listen to their wives.
And you must have done a great job because against Ubali, he looked amazing. I mean, when he knocked Ubali out in 4 rounds, I was saying to myself, wow, I mean, he's back. That was a sensational performance. I was picking him to win, but I thought it'd be a much tougher fight than it was.
Really, because the odds for that I remember was like either 3 or 4 to 1, and
Yeah.
Nonito was the underdog, and I was like, "You
Mhm.
gotta be kidding me!" And
Wow.
I had seen Nonito had sparred Ubali. I want to say in 2017 or 2018. He was here in Vegas, and but Nonito had to fight Southpaw, and so I knew how Ubali fought because they had sparred each other. So when we got matched up, I was like, "Oh, this is like like reminiscent of when we sparred." But now Nonito gets to utilize his strongest tools instead of being at a disadvantage. Sparring Southpaw when he's normally orthodox.
Mhm.
So we were just super excited, but it's really funny because like when people say like you're saying like, oh, he listens to you. I always said that because a lot like I remember specifically the Victor Chinian 2 fight where
Mhm.
he actually had the flu, and it was the 8th round, and he looked at me in the front row, and I looked at him, I go, "You're losing the fight." And
Uh,
I feel like because of, the relationship we have as far as, like that's my damn best friend, 100%.
yes. Trust.
Um, I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff that I don't know what the corner's saying. And
Yeah.
I feel like that honesty and like, hey, like you're losing this fight,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
I don't know what
Fire.
they're telling you, but you're losing the fight.
exactly.
You're losing the
And
fight.
then he
Yeah.
went out and he knocked him out, right? So um, he was like, "Oh crap!" Like it just like woke him up. And even after that fight, we got to the locker room. Everybody was like, "Oh man, you could take a punch, like high five, like that macho
Uh-huh.
stuff." And I'm sitting in the corner. I'm like, I just want to go to the after party. And
Let's go.
and he's all, what? He's like, "What did you think? What? I could take a punch." I was like, "Let's talk about it later," because I didn't want to,
Uh-huh.
bring down his win. And he's like,
Yes.
"No, no, let's talk about it now." I was like, "Okay, so yeah, I didn't sign up to watch you get hit like a punching bag. Like, if
Right.
you want to tough your metal against like let me take a punch, then of course now just go into power slap because that's
Oh my
like,
gosh. That's insane. That
you know,
power slap.
He would knock
yeah,
someone out cold in that.
Oh,
God, I
absolutely.
can't,
Imagine.
man, I can't
That'd
watch
be
that.
funny.
Boxing boxing pound for pound. Jack has a question for you. Will the Top Rank and Probellum issue to work together? Scooper, the Maloney versus Nonito fight for vacant WBC title at 118.
I think we all hope it won't. But I do feel like there is a rhyme or reason why, the Ramirez Prograis fight doesn't happen and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's complete BS. I think that we should all play in the sandbox together. I understand that each promoter is going to want to hold on to their own. But at the same time, when you're holding up a division and you're picking and choosing your opponents, I feel like at that point, now you're robbing the fans of the best fights because you
Yep.
just don't want to. You know,
Yep.
it sounds like bratty.
Yes.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
So, I mean, at the best of me, I have checked my phone, Lord knows how many times
Yeah.
already. It's Wednesday. We got the email Sunday. So we haven't heard anything yet. And I know Richard said he was going to reach out today. And I'm just like, you know, like being patient, like
Yeah.
maybe at 8, I'll call him. Like,
Right.
what's going on? But I mean, if we don't get that fight, like, and I'm gonna say we don't get that fight because Jason doesn't want it. Um, you know, I can't fault him.
Right.
People ask me if you were Jason, what would you do? And or Jason's manager. I was
Uh-huh.
like, listen, if I was Jason manager and I had Nonito at the WBC, I'm mandated to fight him for vacant. I'd go the WBO route and fight one of their top 5. And
Right.
then, if possible, come back and negotiate a fight, champion versus champion, and not for a vacant, because that would be more
Yeah.
money on the table.
That's true. That's very
So
true.
I can't knock it, but
Right.
considering I'm on this side, it's
Of course.
irritating as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you thought about managing other fighters and stuff? Because you sound so well equipped, business minded. Like, you know.
Mhm.
I do advise a lot of fighters. The problem is you know, sometimes they don't always listen.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I had a yeah, I still advise him, but there was a former world champion that was going for his world championship. And at this time, this is where, you know, him and his team was asking me for help. And I was like, well, let me see the contract. He's like, we haven't had the contract yet. I'm like, we're
Uh-huh.
4 weeks out. You have your
Uh-huh.
title defense. And he's like, well, they said that their lawyers are really good. I'm like, BS, get the damn contract.
That, yeah.
And then so he didn't get it till the week of the fight.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, press conference.
Yeah,
And
that's not good.
yeah, so I was like, what do we he's like, I don't know. I was like, at least put in an insurance that if you lose this fight, you don't go back to your minimum from the beginning of the term that was 3 or 4 years ago. He didn't
Mhm.
listen. And he lost the fight.
Oh,
And
It's back to his minimum.
his minimum was actually like 5 or 10 grand. And he said that they want me to get back in the ring for 25. And I kind of said, like, well, you don't want to listen to me.
Right. Do you really want me to tell you what I think? Are you gonna listen?
You always
Yeah.
have to have a woman on your team, man, because the women get shit done. You
For
know,
sure.
you get in there, but you gotta listen to us. You gotta listen. To
That's
us.
right.
You gotta listen to
Can
us.
I ask a question about Nonito? I'm just wondering. I've seen him mention in the past that he was interested in potentially moving down to fight Chocolatito Gonzalez. Is that still on the table or not really?
It's still on the table. Estrada and Chocolatito. I know Eddie's trying to push the number 4.
Oh, wow.
Chocolatito and his people are not inclined as much. I think that at this point he might just be willing to do it just for the money, but he doesn't seem like he's really excited about going into this 4th.
Mhm.
In addition to some fans are like, why are we doing this again?
Yeah.
And then we also had Martinez on the table. He called Nonito out, but
Yeah.
Martinez, I believe, was denied by the IBF for a step aside fight because he already had the step aside fight with Ancajas. And then Ioka got his mandatory that just got ordered. So it just seems like a bunch of stuff that's going around. So we'll stay active in the 18 if the opportunity comes up to go down to the 15. He just wants a touch and go. Just to grab that so then he can say he's legitimately a 5 division because at 115 he only got the interim. But is he going to stay around there? I'm like, hell no. We're only going to do that once
Right.
because I really don't feel like suffering
Smart.
the
Yeah.
torture. having
Yeah,
him
well,
at 115.
He's 118 is already kind of low because he's fought at 126, 122. So he's already lower than what he's been in his career. Now going to 115. Jeez. I mean, I
I
respect.
mean, I hear that, but at the same time, Nonito only walks around like if I brought him in here right now, he's looking at 134 right now, walking around,
Okay.
not in camp. Once he
Yeah.
starts camp, you're looking at walking around 129. Once he hits 10 rounds in a camp, you're looking at him walking at 122. He's not a big guy. So
Yeah.
that's why 26 was so scary for us. The
Yeah,
first one,
big.
the first one that scared me was Walters, and rightfully so. When he walked into the ring, he walked past me, and I'm like, that is not the same guy from Wayans. Like, way not, right?
Mhm.
Probably put on 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Carl Frampton was the last one at 26, and Nonito was just like, he was just so big and solid. And we got to be friends with Carl. Nonito asked him in the dressing room, he's like, bro, like, what did you walk in at? He's like, probably I'm pushing like 48 right now.
Damn.
And so Nonito, we just sat down with Nonito and we're like, dude, you literally weighed 133 this morning.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like, we're not doing this. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's big.
He still
What
put
are
up
you-
a fight.
What are your thoughts on the Inoue and Fulton fight? It's coming up.
I mean, I have mixed feelings about that fight, considering that it's in Japan. And some of the mess that we've gotten into in Japan, I think he just, Fulton needs to be very aware and keen
Mhm.
about.
Cross his T's and dot his I's, before.
Uphill
Yeah.
battle for
Yeah.
Fulton a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. I remember the first time, Nonito's gloves weren't available. His Everlast gloves they looked like they were stabbed on the inside. So Nonito had to use Inoue's second pair. And Inoue wears Winnings. Well, he used to wear Winnings. Now he's switched over. But Nonito has never worn Winnings. They're like pillows. And then I remember 5 minutes before he was supposed to walk out, someone came in because Nonito was wearing like those leggings that he always wears
Yeah.
underneath his
Mhm.
trunk. And the commission's like, take them off. And Nonito's like, I have my gloves on, my shoes are like taped up. He's
Oh
like,
my gosh.
he's like, I'm not taking these off. And so they argued for about 3 minutes, and then Nonito goes, you know what? He goes, I'm not going in the ring.
Yeah.
And so they backed off. The second one was, of course, Inoue's team gave gloves that were not sealed at the glove store. And
That's
so I had to
crazy.
for that. So for me, okay, so as far as that's concerned, he just needs to make sure his eyes are open all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Well, somebody asked about also his hand wraps in the second fight. Was there an issue?
So that's what people have been saying, and they said he rapped the same way for Paul Butler. I remember there being an issue, but it was so difficult because we agreed that they were going to rap at different times. Inoue was going to wait for Nonito to rap, and then we were supposed to go watch him rap.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Inoue was rapping at the same time Nonito was rapping. And so we didn't see it.
Avenue went over
Everyone-
there.
Yeah, everyone on Twitter was saying stuff, right? So, and then they said he did it with Paul Butler. But I'm not sure.
This all sounds tricky. I don't like it. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
and the thing is honestly, like, I feel like if we just took it and put it on Mars, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Inoue's gonna have a hard time. Like when Nonito boxed him in the first fight, and when Paul Butler, used the ring. I'm not gonna say he ran, but he used the ring. It was a lot more difficult for Inoue to plant his feet and land those big shots. It was hard for him to break down that armor.
Yeah.
And with someone like Fulton, who has a different style that he is not used to, we have to remember that, yes, in the WBSS, he fought Emmanuel Rodriguez and whoever else. The one he fought.
Oh, who did he fight?
Uh,
Payano.
Payano. Okay, so Payano and Rodriguez, right? Okay, so those are your two possibly, like, without like the Asian aspect where it's like, okay, you fought a Filipino like 20 times, and like, you know what I'm saying, like that
Yeah.
region.
Yeah.
So the American slick style boxer,
Yeah.
I believe, is something he's never even
The
sparred.
movement. He needs someone standing in front of him.
Correct.
Fulton might be able to pull it off, man. The more I think about it, it's possible.
Anything's possible. Listen, even when Devin went over to Australia, people were like, oh, he's already coming in as a negative because of, the purse, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, listen, if he's going to outbox him, I was like, I don't see Devin stopping Kambosos. I was like, but I do see him outboxing him.
Yes.
But he has to outbox him so effectively and so dominantly that there is no damn question about
Yeah.
who won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what he's gonna have to do over there. Fulton is. It is gonna be an uphill battle. It is.
Yeah, and when
Mhm.
Donaire fought Inouye the first time, there was 1 or 2 scorecards that was way too wide. I forgot. I think it was like 118, 109 or something. Like the judges had it a bit wider than it should have been as well. I had that fight 7-5 Inouye, so that was a close fight, and the judges had it wide, so Donaire would have really had to do extra to get a decision.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you don't like to go to the scorecards. You can't debate a knockout. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So but besides, being a coach and advising people, what are some of the other things that you've been getting into?
so I strength and condition a lot of the guys here. I have about 18 guys boxing and MMA that do strength and conditioning with me. And they get destroyed every single time. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
I used to teach, before the pandemic, I had classes, they were all sold out, and it was fun for me. And then the pandemic hit, and then I ended up taking more fighters than I did like clients. And it's more fun because, of course, when you're in a corporate atmosphere, teaching clients, they're like, hey, you really can't push them that hard. And I'm like, hell no, I'm going to push them all the way to the limit. For the boxers, like you can, right? You're
Can,
like,
yeah.
come
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Like you put them on the battle ropes and you're like, it's just a rope. Why are you whining? Come on. You know, I'm over here talking mess. I talk a lot of mess when I'm
That's good. But that burns the fire, that lights the fire under their asses,
Exactly. Yeah. So that's one of my passions to do. And then of course, I have my career outside of boxing. And then the boys take up a lot of my
Yes.
time.
Oh
Are they
gosh.
into
Being a
boxing?
mom, that's yeah.
So they box and then they also do taekwondo and then they do jujitsu. And then my
Wow.
eldest is a DJ and he's 9. And then my youngest
Wow.
is a drummer.
That's
That's awesome.
So
fabulous.
What if they told you they wanted to
Absolutely.
become? What if they told you they want to become pro boxers? What would you guys say?
we'd say fine. He just has to understand that that this is the household that we're gonna push you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
And
doesn't
you're
see
gonna
us.
listen to mama. Yeah.
Listen to mama,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. No, he sees us like, it wasn't just the pandemic that they go to the gym, right? So they've gone to gym. They see what we do. We see how much work we put in. When he fought Gaballo, if you listen, you turn up the volume to the Showtime telecast, you can hear right before Nonito hits Gaballo with a body shot, knocks him out. You can hear the boy say "body shot, Papa."
Oh
He said
wow.
he heard
That's
it.
awesome.
I love
So
Ah,
that.
that's so cute.
they know like what it's like. They've seen, their father come home with bruises and stuff like that. They've seen him win. They've seen him lose. So they know that this is not a patty cake game.
Yeah.
That you know that we're just gonna do it for fitness. No.
Right.
It's like you guys have like a magic charm for Nonito because in the second Artinian fight you said right before he needs a knockout, he knocked him out the next round. Then the kids told him to go to the body and he went to the body and did it. So it seems when you guys tell him what to do, he ends up getting the knockout win.
As long as he listens,
Right. Listen to your wife and kids always.
yeah, then we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Exactly.
Competed
Like,
Like,
sorry, boys.
amateurs, yeah.
No.
No.
Jarrell, when he was 5, he was in a competition for taekwondo, and it kind of scared him out of the fight game because he was 5, and
Yeah.
I don't know how they found out, but someone told him that our son was fighting our firstborn, and it was a local competition here in Vegas, and all of a sudden there was like 3 news stations that were covering it,
Oh,
Oh
and they had those
God.
big cameras.
oh.
The first fight, no one else was fighting on the
Pressure.
floor, just him. And they had cameras, like he's sitting in the the chair when you're in between rounds. And who was coaching him? Was I coaching? I don't think I was coaching him. No, someone else was coaching him. And right there in the coach's chair, he has 2 freaking big spotlights on him with cameras, and he's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Ridiculous.
Oh.
So I
They take
think
the
he
fun
was
out of
like,
it.
yeah, they took the fun out of it. He won the fight, but he was just like, "Mama, why is there camera on me?" Like,
Yeah.
Turned
Poor
off.
baby.
so yeah.
That's so intrusive, though.
Yeah, I
It
know.
is.
Like,
Right.
He's starting to get out of it because for a long time, of course, like we would go to fights and they're like, "Papa, who are you taking a picture with?" Like he didn't understand who Nonito was. And then it turned and he started figuring it out. And then sometimes, like, he's getting out of the shell of being out of on the camera. He just wants to do what he wants to do without people watching him. So, for
Sure.
example, he did a DJ for a party, and then now he got hired for the Boxing Boys to do Border Wars. That's here.
Oh, that's
yeah,
so
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Boxing Boys.
That's so cool. Yeah.
But for him, like, right, like, he's a mom. I was like, yeah. He's like, how many people are there going to be? I was like, I don't know, 1 or 200. And he's like, looking at me sideways, and I'm like, what? And he's like, are people going to be staring at me? Because I'm thinking he's thinking like Steve Aoki, like concert style. And I'm like, child, you've been to the fights. And he's all, yeah. And I was like, you ever look at the DJ? And he's all, no, I never see the DJ. I go, I
There
was
you
like, all
go.
you're doing is the environment, right? That's
Yeah.
it. No one's looking at you, so don't worry about like people seeing it, like how you're transitioning. Like, just play good music.
Let's
So
go.
he's
What's the DJ that what's the DJ that wears the white like mask or whatever? What's that DJ? He could, yeah, maybe he could do that. That could be like part of his.
He'd be anonymous.
Yes, exactly.
Like Daft Punk.
His godfather is actually the producer and DJ for the Jabberwockies.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's the one that's like, you know, is taking him under his
On his
wing
wing,
and
yeah.
make sure that he's doing good. He's gotten him into producing. He's produces like different songs and stuff. I don't know. I just stay out of it. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. Just
Do
play
you,
music
boo?
in my living room.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're happy. No, that's good. Ladies, gentlemen, any questions for Rachel, Mighty Max?
I'm just trying to think. It's actually kind of surreal because when I just turned 7 years old. One of the first fights I ever watched was Donaire and Tushiaki Nishioka. So
Oh
that's
my
pretty
God.
crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was into boxing for a few months. That was so long ago. I still remember that fight. I was like,
know,
man,
that's so long
this
ago.
fight's slow, but Donaire's
That was
trying to
10
take
years
over
ago.
because that was a slow fight.
You're
Yeah.
17, right? That was 10 years ago, Max. Cut it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I was 7. Yeah, I was just getting into boxing.
I think Nishioka was the one that Nonito was contemplating already leaving the sport.
Wow.
Yeah, because if you ever if you ask him, like, it was like he fought, you know, he had fought. That was the 3rd fight of the year. They're telling him to fight the 4th against Arce, and he was
Arce,
like,
yeah. I remember that.
he was just kind of like, eh. And because he already knew, like, this is the problem about living without goals. His goal was always to have, right, the knockout of the year. He got that. When he got fighter of the year, which was 2012, the 4 fights in 1 year, he knew he was a shoo-in for that. And at that point, he had reached that goal. He's like, what else is there?
Wow.
Yeah.
And so the Rigondeaux fight came, and then all these other fights came, but it was just like, there was no real drive because he didn't have another goal. He's like, what? Win another world championship? I'll do it. And he did it, right? 22, 26, went back down, all this other stuff. And yet he didn't have something else to set his eyes upon. So he was monotonous of what he was doing.
He was kind of fighting like almost without a purpose because he's done everything he wanted to do.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that 2012 year was crazy. I remember he fought Arce end of the year and he absolutely decimated Arce. He knocked him out devastatingly. And he was
that fight,
I don't know
yes.
if he won it unanimously, but I remember it was clear cut fighter of the year was on there in 2012.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it was too. So.
I really think that you are like such a strong woman, and you will like benefit like starting like a team of just all female, maybe like coaches and trainers, and call it like Rachel's Rock Stars or something like that.
There you go. Nike's
No,
good with these names.
Yeah.
No, that would totally be amazing. And like I said, like it's a lot of like finding, you know, the people that could all work together,
Yes.
and respect each other in the sport.
Same
I think it's just about connection and being able to do those things, and also supporting our women's boxers, to make sure that they know we're here too, because you know there's always like they turn left and right. There's, you know, guy coaches, guy trainers, and
Yes.
and one of the females I was talking to, Wei Lee, the one when I was on your podcast before, you know, we talk about it, and she's like, oh, you know, my coach, you know, don't understand. I was like, what didn't he understand? He goes, yeah, you know, menstrual cycle, heavy. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I know
So
what you're
true.
talking about. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you talk to a guy, like, dude, it's harder for them to cut.
Yes, it is.
You're on that.
We
And they're just gonna suck it up.
we're having, like, I'm having that. So I'm a coach here. I'm in Colorado Springs for Team USA, and the girl, like, we were just weighing it, and it's like, and the guys don't understand, and I'll go to the guy coaches like, hey, they're a little over, but this is why, because they have percentages they have to beat, and they don't get it. They don't understand. I don't know if you're familiar with Perfecting Athletes too. They do, nutritionists. They also have diets and things for the women, because when you're on your cycle, you've got all this water weight and stuff, and it's so needed. It's so needed. Women are needed, and one thing I say too is, if there's another woman that has been through this boxing world, that and we want to, and she wants to help you, like, listen, don't think that you have it all together, or if you don't know everything, ask somebody that's been there. We have to unify and help each other. Because it's I'm sure, we talked about it. It's been tough for you. It's been tough for me. It's been tough for the other ladies. It's there's a lot more hurdles that we have to jump.
100%. 100%. We have to prove a lot more than the other guys. The guys just show up, and it's automatic. Like, they're like, oh, he knows what he's doing.
So
But
true.
for us, it's like,
Eh.
it's like, okay, prove yourself. Then you do it, and you're like, prove
Absolutely.
yourself 5 more times, and it's like, ugh, seriously, like, we're not on the same.
Absolutely.
Give me the same requirements as the guys. They already
Exactly.
blew that out of the water.
Exactly. Many times we surpass that,
I'm
Yep.
telling you, I think that would really take off. I think people will hire you right away. You start a Rachel Rockstars team and have, like, all women. Women would come flock, they would come flocking to you, man. Yes, they see how you work with your husband. I think they will, benefit of that. So it's just
I'm totally down to do a team like that. I just never want to put myself front and center, because I think that the general vision that I have is more so of the fact that we create teams that just encompass all the women all together.
Yes.
I don't need to put my name on anything, because what I want to do is be able to pass that when I decide to step out of the sport to the next generation of women. It doesn't have to have my name on it at all.
I love that. I absolutely do love that. There needs to be somewhere that we can go. We can encourage each other. We can help each other in our own individual goals, and then the bigger goals. There has to be somewhere, that we can do that, somehow. I don't know how it can be done, but I totally agree. I love that. There's many times.
I totally think that we should have a Discord or a WhatsApp or whatever, and we start adding women in the sport. So, like I said, like, if I'm somewhere, like if I'm in Springs, or I have a female fighter that's out in Springs, and like, hey, I don't have a cut person. Like, do you know anyone? I'm like, hey, you guys, like, can anyone help? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we help where we can. And when you guys are in Vegas or anything that's needed, then you guys call me up. You're like, hey, I got a fighter. She's coming out there today, but I can't be there for 2 days. Can you make sure she's good? Right? Like, that's all
let's do it.
Community.
Let's do it, because there's many times in my career that I've wanted to call someone, that I could really trust, that knows how I'm feeling, and say, hey, how do I do this? How can I do that? And there hasn't been anyone. You just kind of got to figure it out. So I love that idea. I think we need to launch that. Let's talk about that for sure.
Could be Daenerys Discord. Let me stop putting it.
Nika's like, let me think of the name.
I love incorporating names.
No, listen, my creative side only comes out when I drink. Like,
oh my gosh, same.
And it could either go really well, or that it could go into like a dark path that's like left field somewhere. And then I'm like, I'm supposed to be over here.
I feel that. I feel that for sure. I have great ideas, late at night on the weekends. No, I appreciate you so much for coming on, and let's do this again. And I'm serious about you. Let's do a WhatsApp or some kind of something where we can do that, because we all have resources, you know, and we all can help in different ways. And we need to come together and start showing women that they can do that too.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
have
to be able to
Esme. She's
try.
a boxing photographer.
Yes.
So yeah, there's so many things that women do in the
Yes.
sport that it's a lot of resources that could be
Exactly.
shared. Yeah, for
And
sure.
we'll let Mighty Max be the cheerleader and like
I'll retweet some of the posts. You know, get some.
there you go. There you go. There you go. So Esme, you have any last words?
No, I think I mean I've been in boxing for a long time, and you're one of the very few women that I feel like you just really are the type of woman that changes the sport, and that we should have more of, because I mean just the way you spoke, you're very, you know, your management skills and your business skills are just like it's really good. I'm babbling because I was just like listening the whole time, very impressed and motivated by you.
Thank you.
Max.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for copying the shirts as well. It was very nice meeting you as well, Miss Donaire. It was great talking with you also. And whenever you guys want to have me on in the future, just let me know ahead of time, and I'll always be down. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You're amazing. He's this kid, I don't want to say kid, young man is a boxing genius. He remembers things. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. He's awesome.
Thank you.
Nika, what you got?
I want to thank Rachel and Max for coming on tonight. Everybody in the chat for tuning in. I think we should definitely push this all women Discord or WhatsApp.
Yes.
I think that would be a big hit, to be honest, and we'll be surprised of some of the resources that we would run into on that. So catch us again next Wednesday. You know, that's all. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna keep it short and cute.
Rachel, any last words, and where can people find you?
So Nonito and I have a YouTube channel. We kind of get, tomorrow's sex and boxing, so that one's kind of
sex,
you know what?
sex and boxing.
Sex
Yes,
and
boxing. Ooh,
I was like, is
so we get
the name? Okay, I'm gonna subscribe. That sounds very great, very wonderful.
Yeah, it's Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel.
Okay, Beyond the Ring.
I warn you, tomorrow could get kind of ratchet, but
that's my kind of thing.
we do on here too, especially when I'm at home and I'm not in camp and I can have my sip of wine.
Exactly. But I do want to thank you guys for having me on the panel and being patient with me as I was driving through traffic. But you guys, everyone in the chats, you guys make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. Remember all the time that your only limit is what you think your limit is. And always push past it, no matter how many people tell you can't, because the person that you have to believe is the person that says that you can, and that person should be yourself 100%. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. I love that 100%.
For sure.
So wait. So tomorrow it's gonna be like more of like how many rounds of sex people have. Like it's gonna be like that kind of thing.
Well, so I mean, last time we asked should fighters abstain, and Nonito kept using interesting words of, like his essence, like if his essence leaves him. Like it's very interesting. But we talked about the differences between so some fighters don't have intercourse during camp, but then they still relieve themselves.
Right.
And if you're saying that they shouldn't to hold the testosterone in, then you shouldn't be doing the other things.
Exactly. It's black and white.
I definitely have to everybody tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna have a drink and watch that.
We're tuning in. I'm gonna subscribe as soon as we get off of here. I want to know, because
I want to ask you, because I don't know if you know the answer to this question, because I didn't. They asked me, can female fighters have intercourse before they fight, and does it affect female fighters' legs? And I said, and Nonito asked me, and I go, dude, we never did it before I fought.
Right.
So, I was like, I can't tell you. I was like, we could go test it. And he's like, but, if you guys know, I literally don't know.
In my experience, that I have found that it doesn't matter for women.
Okay.
I mean, this is just my
maybe they're more relaxed
opinion, because I don't know either. But I mean, if you're getting rammed pretty good. I would think that your legs would be gone for the fight. Like, you know, like if you're having good
Well, you
sex,
probably don't want to
you're
get
gonna-
rammed like right before you step in the ring.
yeah,
But,
that's
you
what
know,
I'm saying.
like the
So
night
I'm saying
before, the
if a
weekend,
lady's,
you know.
yeah. If a
Yes,
lady's
we
having
were
sex and
talking
she's
about
having good
timelines.
sex,
And then we were also talking about positions and duration. So we literally
Okay. Yeah, we're
yeah,
definitely
I'm
putting it
trying to
tomorrow.
tune in tomorrow.
We're there. You'll see us in the chat.
Yeah,
You'll definitely see us in the
For
chat.
sure.
I'm curious about all this.
yes,
I mean, I need to educate my fighters, right? So,
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Love to love you. Thanks for everybody in the chat, and thanks to the panel. Have a good night.
Good
We'll see you
night.
tomorrow, Rachel. Okay, bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.